Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we're in the world of Moonwood Mill, which is the world that came with the Werewolves game pack. I love this world, and I think, you know, obviously over the past couple of weeks I've done a lot of pack restricted builds and things like that, and the entire time I had this itch to really build something using the Werewolves game pack. I believe this uses a couple of other packs. It does majoritarily use the Werewolves game pack, but I just really wanted to build something in this world. I think werewolves are probably the main occult that I play with. I don't really, I haven't dabbled much with vampires or spellcasters and whatnot. It's mainly just werewolves. I just think that they're very fleshed out, and I love the world and all the little things you can do around the world, and I just think it's a really solid pack. Anyway, back to today's build. So for today, we are building a tiny home, and this is kind of like a rundown, colorful shack. It's a little bit quirky. I spent a long time determining what colors I wanted to go with, and as you can see here, I started with the yellow and the red, and that roof texture, that tinned rustic roof texture. You have a colored swatch, you have a brown swatch, which you see here. I think in the end we do change it to the more colorful swatch. I think we're doing that now. And then they had this other roof tile, which was like a mossy kind of more nestled in the woods type roof tile, which this particular lot is. So this is built on the starter home lot, the New Moon Shack lot, to be specific. And yeah, so this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom tiny home for a werewolf, and I like this build because it's just a little bit quirky. I went with this green paneling, and I really was going to use the green paneling for the longest time, but then I changed it to a standard kind of old-fashioned wallpaper. I thought that suit. So it's a very basic floor plan. You walk in, you have a tiny bathroom near the front door, and then you just have a bump out which has your bedroom. I only use a single bed in this particular build. I think it's okay. It's for a werewolf. And yeah, I just got to use all of the items. I really love this curtain, this piece of fabric that's kind of folded over, and the rugs, how you've got a worn version and then like a newer version. And it's just, I really like the style of objects we got. I used the apple crate as like a nightstand. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, so at the end of this kind of main section, you have the kitchen, and then you have a dining, and then you have the one of my favorite items that came with this particular pack, which was the couch that backs on to the dining table, and it's just like a really sweet little section. I really like. So as I mentioned, it's a tiny home, so it does utilize 64 tiles. I haven't built, I don't know if I've built a micro home before. It might be a challenge that I could look into doing. But yeah, so at this point, as I mentioned, this is when I just reconfigured the dining table. I could have had no dining table or like a smaller table, but I really loved this object. It looks like it's a repurposed desk, and oh, that's right. So I did use the TV, the old-fashioned TV that came with the Basement Treasures kit. I felt like that particular kit worked really well with this particular game pack, and the items just like, they just fit so nicely. This lamp is also similar to one we got in the Basement Treasures kit, but obviously this one came first. You got a rundown recliner, and then you've got this desk, and I really like this desk. It's kind of like a desk that, is kind of reminds me of something that would be in like Crystal Creations or something, even though this came first. It gives me that type of vibe, and I really like it. And I think it kind of plays into a little bit how spellcasters were. There's lore between spellcasters and vampires, and obviously werewolves, and how they all tie in. So I think it's nice to have some objects that are influenced by that. So I have just opened the Werewolves kind of build and buy, and I'm just kind of having a look and seeing what there is. And I noticed that we had all of these posters. I love all these posters. They just kind of add to the appeal and the theme of the build. Like, it just makes the home look really like run down. And I do add in the scratch marks and stuff, because then it looks like the, werewolf has been rampaging. And the bookshelf is also another nice option. I like that it's just like a really kind of slim, kind of wooden, worn bookshelf. It just fits in so many spaces, so I like that. The high school years bin probably was a little out of place, but I felt that it kind of fit the theme a little bit better. I didn't think a standard trash can would kind of suit a werewolf's house. I don't know. Like, you'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. Do you feel that it, like, that would, the overall aesthetic? And I did use a little bit of Horse Ranch too. Horse Ranch was, and I think that's just because it's more rustic, and a lot of wood tones in here. This, I would have loved to have used the mirror that came with this pack, but I just didn't have room for it. And yeah, I never use this toilet, but again, this is the build that you would use it in, so I think it works. So then we will be moving outside. So the other part that I would really like to mention is the flooring of this build. So the flooring comes from Jungle Adventure, and it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite wooden floors. It looks like it's just really chunky and worn and rustic, and it's kind of duochrome in a way. There's so many colors that run through the actual flooring, and I just think that it's so unique. And this is the type of build where I feel that you would have that. Okay, so we are just looking into the landscaping. I had so much fun with the landscaping of this build. I basically opened debug for this particular pack, and debug is so strong for werewolves, and I just decided to kind of section it off. So you've got some rubbish, some junk, you've got some trees that kind of match the area. You got a fire pit, because, part of the gameplay of this particular pack is, you become a club member, and you have like club meetings and club hangouts, and I wanted this space to have that. I also really loved these debug purple layloing flowers. They're the same as the base game, but they're in purple, and they're obviously in a nicer shade of green. I've spoken before about the base game shade of green not being my favorite, so I really like and appreciate this. So I did want to put in some kind of fitness equipment, because when you rampage, that's something that is used, I believe. Like, I don't know if it calms the werewolf down or what it does, but yeah. Anyway, I got the fire pit, some gardening, and I put the beware signs just because, just adds to the aesthetic. And yeah, that is the majority of the landscaping. And I think we are just putting dirt under all of the kind of, plants and whatnot. And then we'll be moving into the tour. Yeah, so we are live in game. I am just moving the sign so it faces you. And we are going through for the tour. Oh, I'm changing the planter boxes. And are we moving in now? Yep, we're moving in now. Okay, so you enter through the front door, and you walk into this open area. You've got your kitchen, your lounge, your dining, you've got a bookcase, you've got lots of posters and whatnot. At the front of the build, you have that bathroom, and then you have a bedroom off to the side. And I've used the majority of objects. And yes, I do believe we changed the roof color. So as I mentioned at the start of this video, I wasn't sure which color to go with. I think in the end we do go with something a little bit more colorful. I could be wrong, maybe. Yes, maybe. Yes, I think this is the final option that we go with. And that is the build today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.